I didn't know there was going to be anybody here. I thought it was a typical Henry deal. Would show up and be like priest in the back by king. This is like a good crowd for South by Southwest. I don't care who you are. I think Willie would be happy with this crowd. And how about that band? Do you have 30 minutes? I'm going to open up with a Bud Strait quote. He said, "Life is real, death is real, all in between is a game." Henry loved sports. Henry was a strong man. Henry lived hard. He played hard. He was a good man. We all know that. That's why we're here. Am I right? Yeah. We're here for Henry Gonzalez and his family. His family is right here. Leah, his wife, is right here. Corey, his daughter, is right here. Ben is right here. And Ben was supposed to speak, give the eulogy. And I was going to follow him. And he said he couldn't do it because he would cry. Because their family, Leah said their family is all weepers. I thought they were Catholic. Turned out there's some kind of weird South Texas cult called Weepers. I might cry too. I've been crying for a week or two. I've been crying. You know what? When I was like a kid, I remember when I was like 6 years old thinking if I could get through just one day without crying, I would be happy. And I still have that problem today. I cry every day. Crying is like laughing but inside out. So crying is okay. And it's really cool when you can cry and laugh at the same time. That is the best. That means everything is just perfect. Am I right? All right, Henry, well, I'm just going to give you a little talk. I hope y'all don't mind because really I was asked to do this. It's not like I'm just, hey, let me talk. I mean, it's, you know, I'm a comedian. I'll do a gig anywhere. They say, play a funeral, I'm there. This isn't really a funeral. He's already dead. Henry is already buried. He's already in Kerrville somewhere, right? He's all, where? We don't know where he is, actually. He's doing the sound somewhere. Anyway, he was born in Brownsville, Texas, which is about as close to Mexico as you can get. And he was born in Brownsville at a very young age, and he grew up in Brownsville. And the first day he went to class, day one, first grade, Henry, can y'all hold that down back here? If you're not in tune by now, you're never going to get in tune. Come on. The first day in the first grade, Henry went to school, and his name was, he went to school that day, his name was Enrique. Is that right? Enrique. That's his real name. Henry's not a real, that's an alias. We don't know that, now we're finding out. His name was Enrique. He went to school the first day, his name was Enrique, and the teacher said, that's too hard to pronounce. You're Henry. And he went home the first day from first grade, and he was Henry. And his family, they didn't know. You know, he had like a secret identity. He would go to school, he was Henry. At home, he was Enrique. And then his family would hear that his friends were calling him Henry. And they were so polite and meek, well, they were weepers. They didn't say anything. Okay, Henry it is. Come on in, Henry. And from that day on, he was Henry. Because he was such a nice guy, he wouldn't like speak up. No, my name is Enrique. I don't know why they wouldn't just go, Ricky. I would pick Ricky. That sounds kind of like Enrique. Ricky. But it was Henry. From that day on, he was Henry. Anyway, when he was 12 years old, he moved to Corpus Christi. not on his own, his family took him there. You're going with us. And they took Henry to Corpus because his dad got a job at the naval station, and I believe he was a sign painter.
Yes, he was.
He was a sign painter, so Henry knew from day one about how to paint signs. And so he went to Corpus Christi, and he just, at 12 years old, can you imagine going to Corpus at 12, right in the thick of everything down on the Texas Gulf Coast in the 60s. Henry was right in the middle of it all. And he was a promoter, he started doing music shows. In fact, when he was 19 years old in Corpus, he met Leah. He was putting on a show in Corpus, he met Leah. Henry was 19, Leah was 15. Yes! Can you imagine that? Henry on the beach putting on a big concert, all 19 years old. Here comes some pop 15-year-old chick. Oh man, you can imagine. Roll that movie. But she assured me they didn't start dating until she was 19. And by then he was like 47. But when they say dating, they mean like they courted and they went to Luby's, and I don't know what dating really means, but they started dating when she was 19. Now, also, then in 1974 or 75, they moved to Austin. They finally moved to Austin. And they, right to the thick of all this, can you imagine going to Austin in 1975? I mean, with your teenage bride. And Henry knew Ken Featherston, all the Armadillo artists. Henry was just right there in the middle of it all. Ken Featherston was his good buddy from Corpus, Ken Featherston, who is passed and was a great artist. And Bill Narum, who is, passed. And all the other Armadillo artists. Jim Franklin, he was the leader. Franklin was the leader. Priest was second in command. Michael Priest. Guy Duke was weird even then. Danny Garrett, Garrett was Sam Yates, Gary McElhaney. They're all there doing art, and Henry was right in the middle of it, man. He just came right in the, he fit right in. He was like the Mexican Buddha Jesus. He was a guy that suddenly we had a guy that would do all the work. Henry was our Mexican. And I mean that in a good way. He did all the work no one else would do. And he would be all beat up and cut up, and you'd see paint all over him, and he'd have bruises and cuts and bleeding. He was like Jesus, he really was. He looked like him, kind of. He even had a bunch of weird guys following him around. Jesus could turn the water into wine. Henry could turn beer into urine. So they were a lot alike. They were a lot alike, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he was Jesus, but he kind of looked like him. Anyway, he was all there. And then I knew him from, he did the South Austin t-shirt. It was his most famous t-shirt. Stand up. Ben is wearing it. Show everybody that shirt. Henry was a guy that's he kind of started South Austin. I don't mean started it, but way before 78704 even came around, it was just South Austin, and that was the t-shirt that did it. When everybody saw that shirt, they go, wow, that's kind of cool. And everybody had one of those t-shirts, everybody was wearing those damn t-shirts. So, when I met Henry really well, well, I knew him already, when I met him, he loved sports, like I said. There was a Bill Livingood printed all the t-shirts, slow printing. Another dead guy, Bill Livingood. And Henry was, Bill Livingood, he wanted to be a big man in town. He wanted to be like Eddie Wilson. He wanted to be like George Majeski. He wanted his own softball team. So we started the Slow Eddies, and we were terrible. We were just the savages and the guys that worked there, like Sonny Carl Davis. And we didn't know how to play softball. When we did it, we were terrible. We lost every game, but we drank a lot of beer. So the next year, Bill Livingood goes, I'm going to bring in some ringers. And he brought in Henry Gonzalez. And I was the second baseman until Henry Gonzalez, suddenly he showed up. And Henry Gonzalez was the second baseman, and they put me in right field. Which is where I played Little League, which where they put all the losers. But let me tell you, that fit. Henry was second baseman, and I guarantee you he was a great second baseman and a great doubles hitter. Every time he got at the bat, a double, 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 double. He's fast, 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 fast. Right at the middle. He was like the middle, Spire. So I said, okay, come right in, sir. Henry, you are a great, great sportsman. He was always a strong man, am I right? Physically strong. Just like a fire plug. But his heart was soft. It was very soft. He knew how to get along with everybody. So, the story being, I don't know where I'm going. I had a note. Thank you. But Henry, is Eddie Wilson still here? Anyway, Henry did the billboard. Do y'all remember the billboard in Armadillo? Big Arm. He did that. He would be there every day, like painting who was going to play there that night. There was no internet. There was no advertising. It'd be Henry up there painting a sign above the arm every day, up there painting a new sign. He was like the first graffiti guy. And he had 709 up there all the time. He was like a big 709 guy. And Henry would tell you what 709 means. He would tell you, but he's dead. So we'll have to keep continuing to look for it. I don't mean that in a bad way either. We all know he's not here. Okay, I'm trying to get through this now. The crowd's bringing them down. Anyway, he would do the sign. When the Armadillo closed, what did Henry do? Went to the Opry House. Did everything at the Opry House. Did all the work there, did everything at the Opry House. Went on the road, sleep at the wheel, Beto in the Fairlanes. Henry did all the art for Beto in the Fairlanes. Henry was doing the road crew when Stevie Ray Vaughan had that tragic accident. Henry had to drive all Stevie Ray Vaughan's equipment back to Austin. All the way. Can you imagine? Henry was involved in everything in Austin. 10 years ago, South Pop opened up. South Austin Popular Cultural Center. Michael Kleiman opened it up. Suddenly, Henry had somewhere to go. He finally found him a home. And God bless Michael Kleiman and God bless Henry Gonzalez, because Henry was the man that kept all of our stories going. Nobody cares in Austin anymore about old Armadillo days, all that. Henry was the man who would tell everybody he would just gladly stop whatever he was doing and talk to everybody that came through there for 10 years. Am I right? If you came through there, he would stop what he was doing. No matter what he was doing, he would stop and talk to you and make you feel better, and you would be on your way. It was weird how he could do that. It was just so weird that Henry would do that. And what did he do? What did he do over there for 10 years? He had an art project going. It was kind of like Snake Farm meets the Cadillac Ranch at a Mexican flea market. Dedicated to dead people. He wasn't keeping Austin weird, he was just keeping Austin Henry. I mean, and he made the Day of the Dead, he honored all the people that passed. And he really did honor those people. I never heard Henry Gonzalez myself ever speak ill of any person. Believe me, he bitched a lot. But he never talked bad of anybody. Did he? May have at home. But he never talked bad of any person, ever. I mean, he would complain. Henry was not a saint, but he was not a sinner either. He was a common man. He was a working man. You know, he did what he had to do. Never complained, did his job, went on his way. Now, a year and a half ago, Henry told me he had cancer. You know, cancer, it affects everybody here, has been affected by cancer somehow. And they know someone has died of cancer and has cancer. You may have cancer now. You don't know how you get cancer. Nobody knows. Henry, who knows how you get it? Nobody knows. And here's the weird way how he told me. Henry never complained.
I never heard him complain. He told me one day, hey, come here, hey man, look man, you know, I was, you know, zipping up my pants, and I kind of caught it in there. I'm like, ow, you know that hurts, guys. He zipped up his pants and he caught his in there, and the kids are here. He caught his penis in there, and it hurt him. It hurt. And he didn't know, so he was like putting cream on there and rubbing it every day. Well, he did that anyway, but anyway. And like a month and a half, it didn't get well. He finally went to the doctor. And the doctor said, no, man. And they found out right then at the doctor, you have testicular penile cancer. And they had to cut it off right there. Boom. So Henry's like telling me that. He goes, you know, I had to go, you know, and I had to go to the doctor. And so they had to, you know, cut my dick off. And, you know, I got a little bag here now. And, you know, I go finish that. I go paint the stage now. Like, that's how he said it, like it was just some kind of inconvenience. Cutting your dick off. Like an inconvenience. No, I'd be like, what? What? And he's just like, okay, whatever. And so he started doing chemo, and it was like, I never heard him complain. At home, he might have complained. Did he complain? I can't believe that he was so brave that he would do this. He went through all this. And I saw him a year ago, and he was bald-headed, and he had no beard, and he looked good. He looked strong. I said, Henry, you look young. He said, oh, I don't want to look young. I want to look like me. I miss my hair. So I did a painting of him with his hair and his beard and gave it to him. That's all I could do. I said, here, I do a painting of you with the beard. Oh, I like that. So he went through chemo. He thought he beat it. He was back at the pop. He's back at South Pop working. No hair, no beard. He's over there. Jeff Nightbird went by there one day. Said, Henry, you doing chemo? Why aren't you home in bed? He goes, no, I'm Mexican. I work. That's what I do. That's what he did do. He worked every day that he could. He wanted to get up and go to work. He did his job, just work, you know? That's one thing about Henry. He could start a project. He could never finish one, but he could damn start one. He had 1 million projects going on. He never finished a damn thing that I know of. He let the law through with it. He walked away, signed it. So finally we thought he beat it. We didn't know he beat it. Back and forth, back and forth. He got to go to Big Ben last year. Every Christmas, after Armadillo was czar, they would go out to Big Ben. He got to go to Big Ben this year, you know, and see all his friends out at Big Ben, all the people out there. And Henry loved the Big Ben. His family camping there for years. They did that as a family thing. And then that's when he discovered that, you know, he didn't feel that good. He didn't feel good at all. He came back home and they found the cancer had spread all over his body. You know, and they said, you know, you got to go home. Henry, you're too late for treatment. Kind of too late for hospice. He just went home to, you know, to pass. And Leah and Corey and Ben, his family, they're also beautiful people. They're weepers. That's their religion. They, and the grandchildren, I don't know y'all's names, I'm sorry. All of them. They were there for Henry, and that's the thing. Henry showed us how to live. He also showed us how to die. He died the right way. And if we could all die the way he died, God bless, I wish we could die like that. At home with your family taking care of you. And so Shushu told me, Shushu said, Kerry, you got to go see Henry. Go by, he's at home. He's on his deathbed, go see him. I don't think I could do it. I said, I don't know, I can't do it. I said, go over there. So I said, okay, I'm going to go. So I went over there. This was like about 3 weeks before he died. And Leah and Corey were there, and I said, I'm crying. I said, I don't know if I'm going to cry. So I went in there, and I talked to him for about an hour. Maybe an hour, I don't know. But Henry, he couldn't talk he wasn't talking much. You know, he was on morphine. He was in hospice care. He was on his deathbed. And he knew it, you know, but
The first thing he says to me, Henry, I go, Henry, oh Henry. Oh, I love you, Henry. He goes, hey. He goes, hey, you want a beer? Leah, get us some beers. Leah's like, oh Henry, we're all out of beer. We'll have to go to the store later. You know, playing along. He'll forget in about 15 minutes. And I said, can he drink? You know, she said, oh, he can do whatever he wants. You know, he's on morphine, but he's gonna die. He can drink a beer if he wants. So we burned one. Henry, he'd like to smoke pot. Said we did. I talked to him for a while. It was very good. Good. So finally I said, Henry, I gotta go. Is there anything? He really hadn't talked very much for an hour. It was mostly kind of like tonight. Henry, is there anything you need from me? Is there anything really you want? Anything that you can do? Anything that you need? He goes, yeah. Oh, I need a job. And then he laughed, and I laughed. And then I went in the kitchen, and I just broke down crying. And it was so great. That was how Henry was. He wanted me to feel better. I'm going to see him on his deathbed. He wanted me to feel better, and he kind of closed with a joke. When it wasn't really a joke. Because like I said before, he wanted to work. He wanted to continue working, and he never finished anything. And that was like his life went. He's not through yet. There's still stuff to be done. And people go, well, he's passed, where's he gone? But if you look around, all these people have been affected by Henry Gonzalez and his family. We will know. Something is happening. I mean, look at this. This is a good turnout. But the way you got to go with this death thing is, because a lot of people are dying. It seems to be like the end thing that happened doing this, you know. Hey, come on, everybody, die now. Get out of the way. You know what I mean. A lot of people in Austin has been dying of this. And Bud Shrake, once again, said it the best. He said, well, you know, whatever I think when somebody dies, it's not like they're really dead. I just don't see them. They're in the other room. They're like at the beach. And I like to think Henry is probably at Big Bend. He's out there in the mountains. So, you know, if you want to see Henry Gonzalez, go out to Big Bend and walk out there to the South Rim. You know, go out through the window. That's where he is. Or just go in your backyard and hear a bird sing, you know, or just pick up a handful of dirt and rub it all over your body. Put paint on you, just get dirty. That's all, just sweat. And that's Henry. All right, thank you. I'm all right. Thank you. God bless you people.